Hey guys, I'm Joe. This is a Rebels Advocate. This is kind of a spur of the moment video, kind of an emergency video. I think I'm being watched. No, actually, I think we might all be. We're all being watched. Just let me explain. Okay, now first off, I'm gonna put this out there because maybe I'm crazy. I was driving all night last night. My wife and I have been in Wisconsin over the weekend, and so it was a really long drive. And with a 2.5-year-old, you know, so I was driving all night long last night from yesterday evening to 10:30 this morning. I'm wore out, but on the way I was listening to some podcasts, and I was listening to Radio Lab and a podcast about Einstein's brain, and then I heard this one thing that just sent me on this wild ride of my imagination.
She says Einstein loved science fiction as a kid.
And he said he was particularly taken by one author, the name is Aaron Bernstein, who wrote quite a few volumes. And Einstein says that he read them with, quote, breathless attention.
And Jimena says the story that got Einstein thinking about chasing light beams was about
a faster-than-light traveler, and what happens if we travel faster than the speed of light.
So, years ago, I remember hearing something from, I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Could have been another scientist, but I think it was Neil, who was talking about if there were aliens 65 million light years away, and they had a telescope powerful enough to see Earth, and they saw us, they wouldn't actually be seeing us, they'd be seeing Earth exactly 65 million years ago, and so they'd be seeing dinosaurs, right? And so they wouldn't even know that we exist. And that was fascinating to me. I thought, you know, that was really neat, and but I didn't think a whole lot more about it after that until last night. And I'm listening to this podcast, and I kind of hear this.
The story sort of imagines that you could have a guy who shoots off into space and perches himself on a star where he looks back at Earth. And what he sees isn't the same Earth he left.
A different world, a different universe.
But an earlier Earth. Because, as Bernstein explains, when we look out at anything in space, we're not seeing it exactly as it is, but rather as it was.
For example, when you look at the sun, you're really seeing the sun 8 minutes in the past, because the light waves take time to reach you.
And because this traveler could travel faster than light,
all you needed to do, you know, if you wanted to look at the Earth 8 minutes in the past, all you needed to do was to go to the sun. And if you jump into farther and farther planets and stars, then you can choose whatever time in history you want to see.
So in this story, this traveler could bounce from that first star to a planet, to another star, and another, and another.
Quote, in one point in space, the light of the scenes of the French Revolution is just coming into view. And even farther away, the invasion of the barbarians has just become the order of the day. Alexander the Great is still conquering the world. Historical events that have long been dead for us will just be coming to life.
By the way, this was one of the first time travel stories in history.
Now, it gets me thinking, okay, you know, what if somebody could see us, theoretically, you know, some aliens could see us, you know, 100 light years away, or just see 100 years in the dark past, 1,000 light years. And then I got to thinking about us, personally, not aliens, but us. What if, you know, 100 years ago, the technology we have today was just unthinkable. Like, you just couldn't have imagined it. It wouldn't have, you know, a lot of our technology would have just, if you presented it to people, you know, scientists 100, 200 years ago, it would have looked like magic. It's like, that's not even possible. I think some of these things would have seemed like they were beyond the realm of possibility. So, 100 years from now, what can be possible? What will we be doing as far as space travel? Will we somehow crack the code, figure out how to travel faster than the speed of light? You know, we learn how to bend space and time. Now all this, I'm completely stupid. I'm an idiot, I'll admit that. But just hear me out. So if we do figure out space travel to that extent, and if we do imagine telescopes, because yeah, one of the problems is they said, sure, aliens, if they could see, if they was looking at us from 65 million light years away and they saw us, it would be dinosaurs. But there's no telescope that could even come close to seeing that, right? Unless the aliens had far superior, you know, technology beyond our imagination. So it's going to take leaps and bounds better equipment, right? But imagine you had a telescope strong enough to see Earth, to see the surface, you know, and you don't even have to be 65 million light years away. I mean, that would be great. It'd be great to be far enough back to see the dinosaurs. Wouldn't that be amazing? Imagine, you know, what we could learn. But what if you could just go 100 years back? What if you could just go 10 years back? Imagine, you know, we could sit back and watch, you know, you could solve crimes. It would be crazy, right? You could literally solve crimes. Who murdered that guy? Well, let's take a look. Let's roll back the clock 3 years ago. That shouldn't be too hard with the technology they have. So imagine they can go, you know, thousands of years back and literally watch the progression of humans. And, you know, you want to know how the pyramids were built? What if they could literally see that? It's crazy, right? So as that technology becomes more and more advanced, more and more common, I imagine it won't be long before we're watching it for entertainment. We're not just learning anymore. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I'm not going to be here. You're not going to be there. But our descendants will. Our great grandkids will be there. They'll be watching us. I might be on a television show right now. My life's not that exciting, so I'd say my show will probably get canceled early on. But who knows? Maybe you're exciting enough. People might be watching you. What do you do on the weekends? You like to get out, have fun, you adventurous? Think you can make a good television show? Do you think they're watching you right now? Who knows? Maybe you feel safe. Maybe you're sitting in your home. You're inside. You're under the roof. At least you're safe. They can't be looking at you unless they have technology that can see right through walls. They're watching us. I'm telling you. I wonder if they can hear. I wonder if they can only see us, or if they figured out a way to hear us. Yeah, that would be really complicated, because, you know, light and sound, very different things. How are they going to sync that up? It's not possible, right? They can just see us. I bet they can read our lips, then they put it together, right? It's like a whole different voice. Somebody 1,000 years from now is literally watching me make this video. Or they're just watching the video that I just made. Crap. I made it too easy for them. I just gave them sound. I was going to say they were watching this and they just put somebody else's voice to it. Read my lips. But I'm actually making a video. I'm sure they're going to figure out how to crack our technology. They figured out how to crack our iPhone technology. YouTube. So is your life exciting enough? Did you make it? Or did your show get canceled? How many seasons did you go? Something to think about. We'll all be dead, but in a way I guess we'll live on. I want to know how they built the pyramids, though. I got a feeling it's not as exciting as we think. You know, I heard there was, maybe I dreamed this, but I think I heard that they had found evidence that there had been rivers that led right up to it, so maybe that actually, that's not as exciting as ancient aliens building it, but, you know, the truth is usually never as exciting. Anyway, that was my thought. I was just kind of freaked out. They're watching us. Anyway, I'm Joe. This is Rebels Advocate. Have a good day.